And in retrograde, it's actually paying attention to where the structures are not there for us, where we need to create it. You're reviewing structures in your life and where those systems aren't really working for you. So this is, again, great as you go into that, as I mentioned before, with Mars trine to Uranus, about refining your systems. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast, where practical spirituality meets real life. Hi, I'm your host, She Tells Story. I'm a psychic medium, grief support counselor, professional astrologer, and a human design reader, and of course, a law of attraction master coach. With my unique blend of spiritual and practical tools, I am here to help you align with your soul-led purpose and ignite a life that sets your soul on fire. In this podcast, we are going to explore the principles of energy, astrology, spirituality, and psychology to help you heal your grief and create an aligned life and business from the inside out. Whether you are looking to deepen your intuition, understand your cosmic design, or transform your business, this podcast is for you. Join me each week for insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories that will guide you on your journey to living your very best life. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at She Tells Story or wherever you listen to this podcast. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast. Welcome to the Astro forecast for the week of August 4th through to the 10th. We start out the week on Monday, August 4th, in a second quarter phase of the moon in Sagittarius. The moon is gaining light, and Sagittarius is a very optimistic, gregarious sign. It is fire that wants to go wherever it desires. This is a wonderful time to feel that abundance, that opportunity for us to create the world that we want. And, this week there's going to be some aspects that are going to come up. Summer in itself is sort of filled with some of these harder aspects, and for this year, not normally, but just for this year, and which I think is actually great because we can process and move through things in a place of a little bit more expansion, a little bit more space. Whereas I find when September kicks around, because I have kids, it is like go, go, go. And I think it's like a giant reset for the world. Really, September just feels like back to school here in the Northern Hemisphere, anyways. And our routines reset. We get back into momentum of a bit of the busyness, but summer tends to be a time of expansion and more space and vacations and lightheartedness, and the sun is out, and it's a nice time, right? So with this Sagittarius energy, this is going to help us to navigate this week from a place of optimism and a place of agency, that if you don't like something, like move out of there, go somewhere else. And also it's quite a brilliant sign, right? It's this fire, this passion, this motivation to do things that's going to be very helpful this week. So the first major aspect of the week is on Wednesday, August 6th. And this is when Mars, the planet of motivation, desire, our egoic will to move forward, is moving from Virgo, which is very analytical and organized, into Libra, which is very relational. It's all about relationships and who am I in a relationship and who am I when I'm not in the relationship. And Libra inherently is very much about mediation, moderation, and creating win-win situations or avoiding conflict. And Mars is the planet of war, right? It's the planet that rules Aries, and it's not inherently. It kind of wants to fight for its right, to party, but not in Libra. In Libra, it wants to be conciliatory. It wants to make sure that everybody feels good. And so I feel when this happens for me, and you can notice where it is in your chart, is when Mars moves out of Virgo, I feel a little bit more light. It lightens up that organization, controlling, trying to get everything done. As a Virgo, I can say that. We just moves into a lighter sign of Libra. And Libra asks us to pursue harmony, beauty, and there's justice too. The scales is in Libra. Fairness is also a Libra word. But we need that to do through action. Libra is a cardinal sign. It's one of the signs that starts the season. So we need to feel like we're in motion to do things. If you know a Libra, they are constantly doing things. They're super smart. They are attending to the details of things, being on time, knowing things about you and knowing things about them feels really important to them. So that, action is, service is a love language for Libras. Assertiveness might come in indirect ways, and decisions could feel more diplomatic than bold. So we're moving out of that bold energy into, not to say that Virgo is super bold, it's more so service oriented. It's going to do something, it's going to tell you like it is because it's the most efficient way to do it. It's not trying to hurt your feelings. Whereas Libra will not tell you, will not be, trying to stir up any trouble. It's trying to be relational. So relationships may become a focus for courage and conflict resolution. So there's some aspects in the sky right now that are kind of asking you to step into your bold authenticity. And this Libra is going to try to find a way to make sure that that doesn't hurt anybody. That is, everybody's coming along and everyone feels good. And are we okay in this relationship? Take aligned action in partnerships and creative collaborations. So again, because Mercury is retrograde, it's not a time to start anything. Great time to like have conversations and fact finding and really understanding, where your gift might fit in with someone else's gift, considering that Mercury retrograde in Leo. Right. And then on Friday, August 8th, we have Mars, then trine Uranus. This is a really beautiful energy for getting things done, for innovation, thinking outside the box, exciting ideas and bold steps forward in partnerships and creative ventures. Again, steps forward, meaning ideation, maybe planning things out a little bit, not actually booking anything during a Mercury retrograde, not the time because we just don't have all the details and facts. There's going to be way more details and facts and the minute things that we need to take into consideration when we are going to finally book the thing or finally do the thing. So for example, if you were thinking about booking a vacation over Christmas or next year and you're kind of thinking things through and all the details, I would leave it until, I mean, if you can, I mean, seat sales or seat sales, right? But towards mid to end of August, you're going to have more clarity. That's what I'm looking for. Clarity. Can you tell I'm recording this during a Mercury retrograde? I couldn't think of the word clarity. What? But yeah, clarity and those details, those finer points might come together. Or somebody might say, "Hey, I actually have a beach house available. If you want to, if you're coming down here, you can just use my beach house." And you're like, "Oh my God, save myself all this money on a house." So things like that. There's going to be more clarity that's coming in time. So give yourself that space to allow that in for creative ventures. It's a great day for breakthroughs in communication and relationship dynamics, collaborate in new and inventive ways. So Mars is a planet of motivation, desire, and Libra, which is relationship. Trine is a very ease filled experience. And Uranus is a planet of change, of chaos, of genius energy. In Gemini, it's collaboration, it's thinking about things, it's information elevating, right? New ways of communicating and doing things. So you might even use this energy, from a business perspective to refine your systems, to look at, the ways maybe in your household that you pay your bills or that you're getting things done. So, refining systems in your life. This is a really great energy for that. And then also on Friday, August 8th, we have Mars then opposite to Saturn. So it is in this trine and helpful experience with Uranus, but now it's also in this kind of tug of war with Saturn. And Mars opposite Saturn, this is a very intense energy about a break to your forward momentum. You feel like you want to move forward, you have all the details and ideas. And again, Mercury's retrograde, so that's probably another, break there. But this is about being responsible and doing things the right way. So your desire might be blocked by external rules or timing or internal fears or other people saying, "Who are you to do?" or "You shouldn't." Shoulds. Saturn like shoulds. So frustration can be channeled into building better systems, building long-term success by slowing down. So you're going to see this theme this summer. It's really interesting. When in astrology, when we see multiple check marks for the same thing, we sort of go, okay, this is a big theme that we are all meant to experience, right? And the check marks for the theme, if you haven't already sussed it out, it's about slowing down. Right. Mercury retrograde over the summer. It's helping you to relax, to review, to reassess. And then we've also got this Saturn and Mars opposition. It's asking you to be really responsible and think about the steps. Saturn is about responsibility, duty, structure. In Aries is about our mission, our bold action. What do we want to start in our lives? And in retrograde, it's actually paying attention to where the structures are not there for us, where are we needing to create it? You're reviewing structures in your life and where those systems aren't really working for you. So this is again great as you go into that, as I mentioned before, with Mars trine to Uranus about refining your systems. This is going to really help you see like This is a great day to look at your budget, to see where you've been falling down. I can hear Spirit is saying to me, you should tell you're listening to yourself, no, I will be looking at my budget during this time. Also on Saturday, August 9th, so not also, we're now moving to the next day, August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius at 3:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 1:55 a.m. Mountain Time, which is where I am, or 12:55 a.m. if you're on the Pacific Coast. So this is a full moon that is quite interesting. It's at 17 degrees of Aquarius, and it's really a powerful time because it's creating this kite formation. And in astrology, a kite is a triangle, and then there's an opposition down from the tip of the triangle to the base, and then there's a sextile from the outer planets to the base, if you will. So it's kind of forms a kite with a trine triangle at the top of it. The kite is kind of an advanced aspect in astrology. And so if we just kind of want to, I'm going to break this down in segments so you can understand it. So the full moon itself is bringing our awareness to our individuality, the sun in Leo, and our special sauce, our gift and talent, our voice, the thing that we've come here to create in the world, whether it's babies, whether it's business, whether that's just being a good human, all of it matters. None of it is better than the other. We like to create this hierarchy, but there's actually no such thing, right? It's just your life mission is your life mission, and it is perfect and amazing just as it is, right? Gold star. Now, Aquarius is humanity. It is how we come together to support one another. It is elevating consciousness. It is taking care and being a global citizen. It's more of this kind of globalization, if you will, of looking after everybody. Think of Medicare, think of government policies that really help the lowest echelon of humanity come up and be somebody that actually matters. They do matter. Homelessness, which we call now houselessness. People who can't afford healthcare or can't afford to put food on the table. We have systems in place to support that. That's humanity. We're coming together as humans. And I would be remiss to say, there's a lot of dehumanizing happening in the world right now. I feel myself getting fiery. That Leo energy is coming through. My Venus and Saturn are in Leo. And this energy is going to come together now. It's the power to the people. This full moon is about power to the people. And more countries are calling for, as an example of this, calling for the atrocities that is happening in parts of the world to stop. And I'm going to specifically name Gaza, right? That this is ridiculous. Why are we forcing a famine they're using famine as a weapon of war, which the Palestinian people did not sign up for that. They're just trying to live their lives. And this is also a land grab to create a resort in Gaza because it is very prime property on the ocean. If you don't believe me and that's not in the news yet, just wait. It is already happening and it is being backed by the US. So it's not, that's a little bit psychic, but it's also truth if you're watching the news. And people are paying the price for that. And more countries are putting their names to this has got to stop. We need to stop this. And it's so unfortunate. I was saying this to a client that underneath people are dying so fast. People are dying of malnutrition and preventable diseases, and babies can't get formula. This is happening in 2025. This isn't like the 1900s. We're supposed to be evolved. And yet we are dehumanizing people in this day and age still. So this is a power to the people. And I'm feeling like bureaucracy moves so achingly slow and governments move so achingly slow that so many people are dying while they're waiting for for more leaders to put their name behind it, for more people to see this is ridiculous. We can't lie about this anymore. It's such a blatant lie. We need to do something about it. So if you feel fired up by this, I just want you to know you're not alone. And if you feel sort of helpless and I don't know what to do about this, you're not alone there too. I put my name on petitions. I put my name on petitions. I share on social media. I talk about it where I can because I think to look away is also being complicit with dehumanizing or not speaking about it. And it's hard to see. It's hard to see. So, I can hold space for hard things and I can hold space for that. And I want to share that because I just want you to know in my heart, I can see these things and I am praying for the best parts of humanity to come forward. I am praying for things to move faster. I'm trying everything that I can do from here, but it'd be so amazing to have like a coalition of mamas that just go out there and be like, this is ridiculous. It's got to stop. We're bringing baby formula in. We're going to take care of the babies and this population, and you guys can go suck it. Man, would that be amazing. That's why we need more women stepping up into seats of leadership. So when we have that part, that opposition is in play, and it's not part of the kite formation, which is important to know, but it is still there. So this opposition is, the people against sort of, those people that are being very narcissistic and land grabbing and have other nefarious things going on underneath it, that we're going to have this clash of these two things. So I'm going to say, leading up to this Saturday, we're going to see more and more of that in the news, I think. And hopefully, my gosh, they just come to some agreement to stop and let food into there. I mean, how awful you have to be to try to withhold food from people. It's a preventable, issue. And so the kite that's happening here is what you need to know is the opposition between Mars and Saturn is going to be the key for us to manage this kite and fly it to the highest heights. And so again, Mars is our egoic will to move forward and this want to find friendship and kindness and moderation and everybody to win. That's what Mars and Libra wants more than anything is everybody to just win and live in peace and harmony and everybody to have their needs looked after. And Saturn is about responsibility to what I want, Aries, right? And where are my needs and where am I not being responsible with my own what I have, my agency. And so I think it's going to really ask of all of us to maybe it's writing members of parliament, maybe it's putting your name on petitions, maybe it is joining in protests. I mean, I don't know how much of that actually makes a difference, but I think it does. I feel like it does in my heart because we're lending our energy and our voice to the collective's voice. And that is Leo and Aquarius exactly. We can lend our voice to because we're stronger together. It's not about individuality. This is about humanity coming together for all of us. So, this is really about activating karmic lessons and responsibilities, our imagination and our ability, our compassion for humanity, which is Neptune, transformation, which is Pluto, and awakening, which is Uranus. So the seeds that are planted on this new moon in Aquarius was the new moon in Aquarius is the full moon Aquarius. The new moon was on January 29th, 2025. So if you look back on that January 29, 2025, what were you intentioning? What were you thinking about? What were you dreaming about? What were you talking about? What was on your heart at that time? Because that's going to come to the light of some new understanding now. And you might be able to sort out what that cycle is for you in your life, especially around your relationship to freedom and community, right? How do you feel about that? What was happening in the news back then that also got you fired up or maybe didn't get you fired up? Because sometimes things that are closer to home fire you up more than things that are super far away. And I've felt this in the collective and with people that I talk to that I can't really impact that. So what am I supposed to do with it? I can just feel sad about it and I'd rather not feel sad. So I'm going to just look away or focus on something else. And I understand that. I understand trying to regulate your nervous system and trying to just like make it through the week. And if one of us isn't free, we're not all of us are not free. And so, how can we advocate for each other and also advocate for everybody? I think in this debate, there's a lot of people that are feeling outsided or othered. If you're with them, then you're not with me. And I was like, that's the total opposite of Libra. That's 100% not true. I can still believe in protecting Jews and I can still protect Palestinians. And I believe that everyone has the right to life. Everyone has the right to life, not one person over the other. That's dehumanizing. Yeah. And I'm not going to stand for that in my lifetime. All right, fiery Sheetal's going to take a deep breath. And we're going to finish August 10th. So on Sunday, August 10th, we have Mars in Libra trine to Pluto. And this trine was also in effect during the full moon and also in effect, Saturday. And it's going to affect next week as well. It's a slow moving Mars is very slow moving. It's retrograde. Mars is moving a little bit faster at this time. But we are going to feel this for a few more days. So this is a potent day for deep transformation through strategic action. Mars empowers your will and Pluto adds depth and focus, helping you to direct your energy with precision and purpose. Relationship dynamics can shift as power is redistributed. Ooh, that makes me feel excited actually about what that might mean for the world. taking bold steps towards transformation and partnerships or career. Now, again, bold steps, that feels like a lot during a Mercury retrograde. So maybe it's more like bold ideation or bold, putting your bold ideas down on paper and putting a path forward to where it needs to go and starting to investigate what that might look like. I think there's just so much in humanity that is good. I inherently feel like people are good. I believe in the best in people. And I really feel like collectively, as we intention and set in motion these things that are going to benefit all of us, like I'm praying, I'm doing I'm sending energy, I'm trying to protect the babies. And you can also have the summer of joy. Like, we can hold both. It's so interesting because we think that we are dynamic humans. We can hold two emotions at the same time. We can hold interest in two things at the same time. And I can still send energy and I can still appreciate that my children have food on the table and not feel bad for that because I'm wishing for them to have it too. So it's a really interesting thing. If you're noticing what it brings up in you, if you look away, why are you looking away? What about that feels hard for you? And then just naming it, saying it out loud. When we look away or we avoid, what we avoid persists. It continues. And we don't want that. We want you to acknowledge the dichotomy within you because when we do that within, we also heal without. As within, so without. The world is a reflection of us. There's a lot of division in the world right now, and I really want to heal that divide. So thank you for being here. You are on a mission as well to heal this divide. There's no secret in terms of why your soul chose to incarnate now in this time in the world. And you are here on purpose. You have something to add to this collective consciousness that's going to rise humanity. You would not be attracted to this podcast or to me if you didn't have that. And I just want to thank you for that. I think you're amazing. And I know you're doing things in the world in your own way, in your family, in just the closest things around you that ripples out into the world. Your energy matters. You matter. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm sending you so much love for all that you do and all that you are trying to do and accomplish in this world too. You are not alone. We are in this together. All boats rise together. And I'm just going to send you white light to be protected this week as you crusade out into the world as a protector of the underdog and using your voice in the way that feels right for you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Story of Spirit podcast. I hope you have found inspiration, support, and practical insights to help you align with your soul-led purpose and live a life that sets your soul on fire. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and continues to provide valuable content. I sincerely appreciate every share, and I know it is how most people find me. It is because caring people like you have shared me with them at the right and perfect time. For more resources, insights, and to connect with our community, please visit us at www.shetellstory.com and follow us on Instagram at shetellstory. Remember, your journey to a more aligned and vibrant life is just the beginning, and I am here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and keep shining your beautiful light. This is She Tells Story, signing off from the Story of Spirit podcast. Here's the legal ease that's required by our lawyers. This podcast and the YouTube channel represents the opinions of She Tells Story and her guests to the show. The content should not be taken as medical, psychological, or financial advice. This series is informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional, your mental health dream team, your financial advisor, or anyone else that's an expert in the field in where you are thinking of making big choices in your life.